Time now for Social Watch. My mic goes off and your voice comes on. We want to sample some of the thoughts and the feedbacks that you've shared on social media, whatever you've expressed with regards to the BBI report, the rallies that they've held, the latest developments with regards to the BBI report. So we'll start over with Instagram, where we posed a poll, excuse me, and we were asking you, are BBI rallies enhancing inclusivity of ordinary voices in the country? Okay. Are BBI rallies enhancing inclusivity of ordinary voices in the country? 3 rallies so far: Kisii, Kakamega, and Mombasa. 91.2% say no, 8.8% say yes. Will Kista, your thoughts?
I think the definition, what we need to know is what are the voices that are not in the BBI, and they're definitely not the voices of the leaders we're listening to.
Okay.
So by having a rally, for example, in Mombasa, are we saying that all the tribes are there and therefore they're speaking in one voice? And how do we ensure that it is really, guaranteed that they're speaking in one voice? I think it's more of the leaders speaking in one voice and imposing that on the people.
But doesn't that go against the very fundamental objective of the BBI, which is to promote inclusivity? You cannot impose your idea on people. Come together, let's talk, let's find a solution, all of us.
I think it goes beyond the BBI, and it goes against the tenets of democracy itself, and not even the BBI. So I think that is where we need, the civil society to come out strongly in enlightening the citizenry as to how, you can make your voices audible. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to social media and see what you had to say. This is Twitter. @Ken Morenga says, BBI is a tool for political mobilization disguised with a reform agenda. Don't take it seriously. Will Kiste?
Wow. Of course, as I had said before, it really is about the leadership coming together to give a way forward. And the way forward for them is an overhaul of the constitution, especially on the structure of the executive itself. So partly it is a tool for political mobilization, and it's going to inform a huge chunk of the 2022 politics. And that's what I think Ken Orengo is trying to communicate.
But can't we have a document or a report that looks beyond 2022 and that will last us maybe 50, 70 years, and we can use it as a benchmark to foster growth and development moving forward?
I think, that's one of the fundamental questions, because did the BBI even build onto the other reports? The WACI, the WACO,
yes,
did it even
Commission.
Did it even mention anywhere that it built onto those? I didn't see that anywhere. So it means that even them, they're creating a precedent that, really what other people did doesn't really matter. It's just about the BBI now, and it communicates to it being very short term.
Okay, let's take a look at another tweet. Ayala says, this is a meaningful proposal that, if well implemented and executed, could bear fruits. However, I have reservations on the involvement of the president in the foundation. The president comes and goes. The BBI stays with us forever.
I think she was referring to, there was a proposal to have a foundation, which is a partnership between the private sector and the government, and the president, sitting at the top of that foundation. And of course, it was talking about public-private partnership and how to create more opportunities there. Of course, with regard to the unemployment issue that's very rife right now.
Okay.
And I think I agree with her that it could bear fruit, but there's also a lot of civil society organizations already doing the same. I think the role of government would be to provide a regulatory framework, with sound policies that will enable the ease of business to actually be easy.
So you can't have your cake and eat it?
No.
Okay, let's take a look at another. Afro_Topia says, what the youth need is employment, and manipulating them into taking part in a fraudulent exercise meant to create more positions for the rich is not just unconstitutional, but also inhuman and sinful. He goes on to say, taking advantage of their situation is unforgivable. Unemployment, ethnicity, poor health, infrastructure, exactly what Murkomen was saying. Every single time they come to us, they remind us of the problem because they know that's our weak point.
Right. And then when they remind you of the problem, then that's where you get very emotional.
Yeah.
And then they loop in what is their agenda at the time.
Okay.
And I think that takes us back to how we question the priorities of our leaders at the point at which they are campaigning. So we need for our leaders to, for example, say, these are my top 3 priorities, and these are the 3 ways I'm going to, you know, make sure these top 3 priorities are taken care of. As is, I don't even think the president's priorities are that clear, because, you know, you've seen the video of the stadia and all that. We never saw any of those things.
The stadia in Wote.
Exactly.
Well, look, if we allow every president to come in with their manifesto, then it means that 50 years later, we'll have the big 4, we'll have the SGR, the laptop that was never completed, it's still in the pipeline. We'll have the big 4 that there might be a possibility that it might not be completed. So far, less than 300 rather houses up, yet the government promised 500,000 units 3 years in. So how do we redefine our priorities as a country so that whichever leader comes in, you use it as a blueprint so that we can be able to fix these problems for ourselves, so that whichever leader comes addresses our problems and doesn't use it against us?
And I think that's the solution right there, is for us to have a blueprint that governs how our leaders, of course, do their strategic plans and all that. Because even the Vision 2030 talks about issue-based politics and ethnicity and inclusivity.
Yes.
I don't even know if the people doing the BBI report did a reference to that document in the first place. So even the Vision 2030 is crushed down into 5-year plans that, you know, go with the intervals of our election cycles. So it is really possible for any president taking power to say that these are my priorities according to the blueprint Vision 2030 and actually achieve that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at another tweet. At Millicent Omanga says, it's a pity that the jobless youth were cheering when the second-term governors who have fleeced county resources are proposing for regional governments for their soft landing. When will they say it's time to retire and give space for youths to take up leadership? Wilkester, how do we teach our politicians and even Kenyans in general that you do not die in office or you do not die in power? It's service, you do your term, and you go home. It's either you do your 2 terms, go home peacefully, or you do 1 term. If Kenyans are not satisfied with your job, they send you home and you go home peacefully.
I think that speaks to how empowered our citizenry is. Do we feel like, you know, we are in a position to do that? Of course, we are seeing the impeachment of governors and some of these really coming from the youth movements and youth organizations that have been really working to, you know, get people in public offices to be in check.
Okay.
Even the, you know, the appointment, the quashing of the appointment of
Mary Wambui.
Yeah, it was led by 2 young women. So it really communicates to the youth being savvy enough to see that this is how things should be done.
Okay.
But then I also see malice in Millicent Omanga's comment, because
she is a politician, definitely.
She is, and that's reverse psychology. She's just trying to tell people that we need these ones to go so that you can put me in this position.
Yeah. That is what happens on Social Watch. People just express themselves at WM Joya. This is another one again. Hashtag BBI nonsense is not meant to unite ordinary Kenyans. I don't know where people are getting that information from, because it's not in the report. Bringing Kenyans together through lies and brainwashing them through historical revisionism is not unity, it's fascism. This just speaks to your point of leaders misusing our point of weakness. Let's take a look at another tweet, if there's any. At Benjin Dolo says, one thing you get after carefully analyzing the speeches yesterday is how low the political discourse in this country is. On stage is just lots of shouting, lies, riddles, jokes, stories, blackmail, mockery, so disjointed, and a whole lot of confusion. And this is why I ask, what are the key issues that this BBI rally should be addressing when they go to the people? Because this is the one time that you've gotten to pull a whole crowd of people, and you have an opportunity to really break this document down for them and give them the choice to choose whether they are for or against.
I think it speaks to the quality of leaders we have, and it speaks to the quality of leaders that political parties are, you know, are able to front for election.
Yeah.
And it speaks to what we choose at the end of the day. We are choosing bad or worse.
Yeah.
So when you choose bad or worse, we have shouting, we have riddles, we have lies, we have jokes, we have stories. That's all. And we can never get them to the point of saying that this is what I have done. And, you know, as being a leader, I'm saying that I'm going to step down because I wanted to achieve this, and this is what I told the people, and I was not able to. Therefore, I am stepping down.
Well, okay. I hope, you know, we were colonized by Britain. I hope we'll one day learn that trick from Britain when their former prime minister stepped down because of Brexit. We want now to cross over to the streets and listening on what you had to say. We came out and we asked you what your thoughts on the latest development of the BBI report are, and this is what you had to say. Listening on Street Talk.
BBI vile naona ni kitu mzuri ambao itakuja kuleta Wakenya pamoja.
Hata mimi sielewi kitu kwa sababu hatujaisoma.
I know only of the handshake, but the BBI report I've not read it.
Nimeisoma lakini kuna mambo fulani ikomo ya utata kidogo.
BBI in a nutshell, we are bringing more burden to the common mwananchi. Because we want to introduce positions that were never existing. They should come out and tell us BBI is this and that. But introducing new positions, no. As Kenyans, I refuse.
Kama angekuja watupatie tusome, sasa tungejua tutasema namna gani. Lakini nikisikia kama kwa vile nasikia wanataka prime minister.
No, personally, according to BBI, I don't have any information, but now in relation to the referendum we have previously, I can say it is a waste of Kenya's time.
Hii rally asisaidie Wanakenya kwa sababu Wanakenya wako na shida mingi, uchumi imepanda. So wangeangalia hata mambo ya low caste kwanza.
Ziko sawa. Nikiangalia sioni makosa yote isipokuwa kuna siasa zinawekwa ndani.
Hawasemi vile hiyo BBI yenyewe inasema, wanaongelea mambo ya 2022 na mambo ya tangatanga na kushtumiana. Sasa hata tuelewi kama campaign imeanza, watuambie campaign imeanza.
All the political rallies about BBI, they are trying to influence wananchi, but wananchi are really not participating.
Ni waste of funds. Asisaidii.
Saa hii ikikuja tutaisha kabisa.
We should do the elections first, then we can do the referendum after the elections.
Kenya sasa itakana referendum sababu uchumi, corruption imekuwa mingi, mamilioni za pesa zinaenda.
Hiyo kisheria lazima tuende.
Si idea mzuri, manake hapo ni pesa za umma zinatumika.
We are not ready for referendum because already the Kenyan government have got a lot of money to pay outside. Like now we have 9 trillion. We had 6, they added 3. So how are we going to pay this? We are not ready for referendum.
Kwa saa hii, kwa venye uchumi iko saa hii, kianza kusema mambo na tena na referendum. Tufanye referendum huu mwaka. Next year tena tuanze kampeni za election. Haisaidii.
So personally, I have not been following because I've said it is a waste of time. So I cannot follow what is wasting my time.
Waangalie wafanye biashara, waende huko mashinani juu wakina mtu hajatoka mashinani.
Ningependa tu hii BBI iangalie usawa katika hizi parastatus, kukuwe na usawa. Kila kabila iwe inawakilishwa, watu waajiliwe kama kuna watu ambao wametoka mkoa fulani.
Sasa hizo industries zimeanguka. Like ukiona Pan Paper ifanye, hizo Kenya Sugar asifanyi. Wangefufua hizo kwanza tuambie mambo ya BBI.
Mwananchi wa kawaida ningetaka BBI kwanza kuangazia hasa mambo ya health kwa hospitali, mashinani, mambo ya ujenzi kama vile nimekuambia, ujenzi wa barabara, mambo kama ile itasaidia mali mwananchi atafaidika.
What we want is transparency election because now people are crying election is stolen every time. That is why they want inclusivity.
They should remove the Senate, they should remove the position of women rep, they should remove the nominated MPs. We should remain with a fewer MPs so that we can be able to develop the country.
Well, Kista, from street talk, politicians are saying different things during rallies, but Kenyans on the ground also have their own different narrative. Why is there a discord, and how do we, as the name of the report suggests, build a bridge between the two?
I think politicians live in their own world, especially our elected leaders. They do not live the day-to-day lives of the common Mwananchi. Because if you really listen to them, their concerns are really genuine. I just want healthcare. You know, the other guy said he just wanted good roads. You know, so those are really genuine concerns, and how to bring down the cost of living. So really the inclusivity issue, it's important, it's fundamental. And I think the guy who spoke to the elections not being free and fair spoke to the real issue, because the reason why we're having the shaking of hands to begin with is because we did not have free, fair and transparent elections. That's why we even have this whole BBI process. And then do we also need to rethink, you know, our system? Do you want to keep doing first past the post, because it means that then the people will be left out? So we should take care of it at the ballot, and not come and take care of it, you know, at other stages where people feel like it's a burden on our pockets, it's a burden on us, you know, causing election fatigue, and people really just want to thrive in the country.
Well, Kista, we are almost coming to a close, but 30 seconds. The BBI is here, it's picking pace, rallies are going across the country. Where do we go from here in relation to the Kenyan citizen, who this report is going to stay with for another 20 or 30 years and is going to have an impact on their daily life? 30 seconds. Camera 2.
Well, I think we need, as a country, to build onto the BBI report. Are we just saying that this is something we're going to use for the short term? Can we carry it for the long term, bearing in mind that there are other reports that we did not put in the BBI, so that we move forward from there as a citizenry? And then I think also our leaders have a part to play in all this, because it is not just about the leaders getting positions. They should be about common good. And I think integrity calls for any leader to tap into their intuition sometimes and look at the common good of the Mwananchi.
Well, Kista, thank you so much for making time. And this conversation doesn't stop here. I hope once there will be a referendum or no referendum, should they decide to go parliamentary system, we can come back and still do a scorecard or a progress report of the BBI.
Right.
Thank you for making time. And you, dear viewer, thank you for staying with us since 8 p.m. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here and talk to you as usual. This is the show that gets to amplify issues that are important to you. Every day we dose each other with a bitter dose of the truth. But from what you've said on the streets, on Street Talk, you're feeling the heat, you're feeling the pain. And today we leave it at that so that we can ensure that your voices are truly amplified. My name is Andiro Ganga. I'll see you again when I see you. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.